Rightio. Well, I'm Dan from Frankenbok, and we've got a brand new live album that's just dropped today. So it's the 25th anniversary show that we did about a year ago. Yeah, almost a year to the day, maybe a week. But yeah, so that's the show where we got all five lineups of the band back together for one night, and yeah, it was a killer night. And we got it recorded and filmed, and we've just finally put it out. So, yeah, we've got it as a live album, and also the full show can be watched on YouTube as well.
Beautiful, Dan. Thanks for joining us today, brother.
Pleasure, mate.
As you say, Frankenbok have released your new live album, 25 Years of Noise in one form or another. Firstly, great album title for a live album, mate. Who came up with that?
I actually did. Yeah, I was just trying to think of some kind of byline, and that just popped into my head. So yeah, that's kind of the truth. The band has sort of been through many different changes over those 25 years. So with each different lineup, it's sort of brought, something completely. It's changed every time, but there's been a running thread through the whole thing. Like so I was in the band twice in two of those lineups, but there's been four different singers. So with every different singer, you're going to have a different sound. And yeah, but like I said, there's a thread running through the whole thing, and that's pretty much Azza, who's been there since the start, and his riffs and his music that sort of runs through the whole thing. But yeah, so it's quite an eclectic bunch of songs, really, when you put it all together.
I betcha, mate. And it was recorded live at the Tote on December 12th, 2022. So have you released it now to sort of coincide with the 12-month anniversary?
Well, it's taken this long just to to get it all pretty much done. So I was the one that did the mixing for it and the video editing. And so the 18 songs, which is a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just try and cram that into my spare time, what little spare time that I've had in that period. And it's been a hard slog basically. It was there were issues that we had to deal with the sound, and just a few little hurdles and stuff I had to get over along the way. But yeah, and just work commitments and stuff that just sort of dragged it out longer than I'd hoped. But yeah, my intention was to get it out by the anniversary of the anniversary at the end of the year, at the latest. And I just scraped it in pretty much. I just pretty much finished the final video edit maybe a week ago. So that I finally got it up on YouTube, and that was a great relief when that happened. So yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to putting it behind me and getting it out there and moving on to someone else. That's for sure.
Now, speaking of the sound, mate, like, how was it actually recorded, and how good is the sound quality in the end?
Well, it was recorded on the night, just straight out of the desk, but it's a full multi-track recording. So yeah, and we actually got a really good capture on the night. I'm especially happy with the drum sound. Like, that was a really good capture of the drums. But yeah, so I had the ability to mix it properly, and really I took my time with it and tried to get it sounding as best as I possibly could. So yeah, it sounds really, really good for a live recording. I'm really happy with how it's come up. Just had a guy actually comment on the page because it's out today, and he was mentioning that as well, that he's really impressed with the sound quality of the recording. So yeah, I'm relieved to hear that. But yeah, no, it came out really, really good.
Yeah. And as we said before, like, the night was pretty special, featuring performances from every Frankenbok lineup from the band's 25-year history. Like, I know you had a large part in putting that together, mate, but how much work did it actually take to make it come together on that night?
It was a little bit of a process. We initially started with, we were just going to get a couple of dudes up with the current lineup and just get a couple of guys back for a song here and there. And we started asking a few guys like Hutch and Mick, and they were like, yeah, fuck yeah, they're all pretty enthusiastic about it. And the more it kind of went started to think, man, I mean, it's as crazy an idea as it sounds, could we actually get everybody back and try and get all 5 lineups to play songs each and really do it justice? And it sounded like a crazy idea, but I thought, well, all we can do is ask. And the 2 dudes who were really pivotal in that happening were Tim and Mick. Those were the guys from the 3 or 4 lineups before the current one, so they had the most work to do. And Mick hadn't played drums really at all in 5 years since he left the band. He pretty much quit playing drums, so that was a huge ask to ask him to play, 10 songs. But he relished the idea and he was enthusiastic, and I have to say that he absolutely knocked it out of the park on the night. He absolutely killed it. Probably one of the better shows he ever did. So, in saying that, we just started rehearsing with a few guys here and there. It took a couple of months of just getting guys in and out. We had the current lineup learn all of the old songs so that we had at least had those guys, and then we'd bring in dudes just to play with them until we could gradually start bringing everybody in. And it wasn't until the week of the show that we got a couple of pretty much full dress rehearsals. Apart from Adam B. Metal, he couldn't make it until the actual day of the show. And then we actually had a full dress rehearsal on the day in the afternoon. And that was the first time he got up, and he just absolutely smashed it on the night as well. So it was pretty cool that last week when we had those last final jams and everybody was there apart from Adam. But that was pretty cool. And when the original lineup finally it was their turn with all of them in there, and Scotty, who'd come from Perth as well, he came down a few days earlier, so we got to have some rehearsals with him. And yeah, it was pretty damn cool when they kicked into Greedy Salutations for the first time in 20 years. Everyone was, it was fun. It was just something that we never ever thought we'd ever see again. So yeah, that was pretty special.
Yeah. And how was it having the whole gang back together again? Like, did everyone know each other, or were there some people from the lineups meeting each other for the first time?
That's a good question. I reckon there would have. No, I mean, maybe there would have been some guys that had met, but I reckon everybody must surely not have known each other. I'm not sure about that, but everybody got on really, really, really good. So, and I my hat goes off to everybody for actually committing to it and seeing it through and getting along really well and just, giving it the respect that it deserved. I can't thank everybody enough for that. It was really good, man. Couldn't have gone any better, really, on the night. Like, I mean, all it really would have taken is one guy to have not been available on the night for the whole idea not to have worked. So to get 12 guys to actually, be able to agree to it in the first place, and then to be able to do it on that one particular night was, a bit of a miracle, really. And then for everybody to just smash it on the night was, couldn't have asked for anything better, really.
Yeah. And we touched on this before, but it must have been a big night, especially for Azza, who would have played all night, being the only original member. He wouldn't have got a break.
No, he didn't. And as I said to him on the night, I was like, man, this poor bastard's got to do this 5 times, 5 different lineups. And he sort of said, poor bastard, I'm the luckiest guy in the room. So, he relished the idea and loved it. And he had a great night and was very appreciative also of everybody's hard work and dedication to the idea. So, yeah.
It must have been a night full of highlights, mate, but what was the one highlight for you?
Definitely the highlight for me was getting up with the original lineup and getting to do Monk Discipline with those guys. So, that's one of my all-time favorite Frankenbok songs. So to actually be able to get up there and do that with the original lineup was pretty fucking cool. And you couldn't wipe the smile off my face afterwards. So, definitely that was my highlight for sure.
Yeah.
And, there was the people that came who travelled a long way to get there. There was 2 guys in particular. One guy, Sean, he came all the way from the middle of nowhere in WA, and he managed to get there. And another guy, Shay, came from New Zealand as well. So, you know, my hat goes off to those guys for actually making it all that way for the show. So yeah, that was pretty cool too.
Now you've released a few songs in the lead up, so tell us about the songs that you released and why you chose them.
Well, I figured that probably the best way to sort of start promoting the release was to release one song from each of the lineup sort of for 5 weeks leading up to the release. So I just sort of, you know, picked what I thought was, well, you know, some of them probably not the best. Some of them I wanted to leave something rad for when, if people want to watch the actual full show. So, you know, I just thought I'd pick a song from each of the lineups and put those out, but I didn't sort of pick some of them. You know, some of them were the best, and then others I thought, no, I'll leave those for when people actually watch the full show and not fully give it all away beforehand. But yeah, the response has been really good so far. Everyone's been pretty pumped with it. So far today, the response has been really good that I've noticed.
Oh.
So yeah.
And I believe you've also released a new line of merch to celebrate the release. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we did. We put it out on CD, but you know, not many people have CD players these days. So generally, what I do is run a line of limited edition merch to go with the release, and so that's all pre-order, which is finished now. I was really happy with the response for that too. So you get a T-shirt and the actual CD as well. And yeah, we sort of did. Yeah, like I said, we'd make them limited editions, and there was a bunch of shirts that you could pick from, different colours for the designs. And I'll get you to use the Christmas design as well. Yeah, and put those out. So that's kind of what I do with Fair Dinkum Records, is try and do those sort of merch CD combos to sort of sweeten the deal. And yeah.
Well, where can people get onto those special merch packs, mate?
Well, they're finished now, but we've got plenty of merch available on our website. So if anyone's keen, and with any merch purchase that anyone gets, we usually come. You know, if I know that if they haven't got a copy of any of our albums, I put those in with the T-shirts as well. So just head to frankenbok.net, and you'll find everything Frankenbok there that you could possibly want, basically.
Beautiful. Now, a little birdie tells me that you've started work on the next album too, mate. What can you tell us about that?
Yes, we have. We've started writing. I'm still yet to put any vocals down, although we have done one song that had, I'll let the cat out of the bag here, but it's a song that features the original vocalist, Hachi, as well. So, yeah, we've got that one in the pipeline and a couple other ones that the guys have been working on, which are sounding really, really good. And now that I've finally got this thing out of the way, I can start concentrating on doing my part and getting some lyrics read. Hopefully over the summertime when I get a bit more of a break and a bit more of a chance to think about that. But yeah, so far they're sounding really, really good. And as usual, they're all very eclectic and they all sound very different from each other. But I'm pretty excited about these ones. I think everybody is. So we'll see what happens. We're just going to write a bunch of songs and, you know, see what comes of it, pretty much. But that's kind of what we're going to be focusing on for the first half this year, I would say, as much as trying to get on shows. We're starting to book shows for next year. They're starting to come in now. So, yeah, that's pretty much the plan for next year, is try and get a new album out.
Beautiful, Dan. All right, mate. Well, thanks very much for your time, bro. Pleasure, as always. Album 25 Years of Noise in one form or another is out now, as is the live DVD or live performance, which you can catch on YouTube. So have yourself a happy festive season, bro, and we'll catch up with you next year.
Thanks, Crispy. Much appreciated, dude. And yeah, see you in the new year.